Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
You guys can do better. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
How wonderful it is to come out here in warm weather. I had a visitor. Yeah, this is a true story. So today I was with a new friend of mine. His name's Eric K. Ward, and he came up to speak for our Jewish Federation this morning. And he came from Portland, Oregon. And he said, "This is the perfect weather. You guys have amazing weather." I said, "Well, I thought Portland's a little bit warmer in the winter than Buffalo." And he said, "Well, actually, this is the weather right now. The weather it is right now, that is the weather in Portland, Oregon." So somehow, after a month of freezing cold weather, we've managed to move to the West Coast. So we welcome Cantor back, all relaxed. How nice. She's got her ukulele today.
New glasses, too.
And you could know each other for a long time, and of course, I didn't even notice her new glasses. And we have a special thing tonight. We have someone who's wearing a crown. Do you want the person wearing the crown to stand up? Naomi, why are you wearing a crown? Oh, she's going to tell me. I think it might be, maybe she's Queen Esther. Her birthday is on Wednesday. Oh, last Wednesday. Yeah.
And they're still celebrating.
And I think she helped to sponsor the Oneg, I think. Is that right? Yeah. Well, it's going to be some good food for your birthday, too. We won't reveal your age there. Bruce, we are ready to welcome you up, to welcome everyone here to our sanctuary tonight. And again, you have your run of, this is in preparation for your Purim roll, so whatever you like.
And I'll be using every microphone.
Look at all his purple. He's got
microphone.
Everything's matching beautifully.
Well, Fat Tuesday, end of Mardi Gras, purple. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And
Shabbat Shalom.
welcome to the, hey, Brooke, how are you? Brooke and I used to work together in television a zillion years ago. We say goodbye to February tonight. Good riddance to February. Weather has been awful for most of us, other than the two tan people who were in Florida for the entire month.
They really are tan.
And now tomorrow we welcome March, and there's so many exciting things happening in March. Next week, what happens next week? The clocks, we set the clocks ahead an hour.
Oh, no!
The following week, we set the clocks back 2,000 years to ancient Persia for our Purim spiel. The week after that, spring arrives, officially, on the calendar, not necessarily here in Western New York. Here, we're lucky if spring arrives and the snow melts in time for Memorial Day, but we'll take it. So anyway, March will be a busy month here, and all sorts of exciting stuff happening. Welcome back to the Cantor. Either the Purim spiel rehearsals were going so well that she said, "I can take a vacation," or they were going so badly that she said, "I need a vacation." Either way, it's good to have her back. And anyway, and it's good to have Walter and Diane back, who had, look at how tan they are. Man. Anyway,
embarrassed them.
Shabbat Shalom. I'll be back later. We have a lot of stuff coming up in the coming weeks. Robin looked at my list of announcements, and she says, "That's a long list of announcements. Blame Julia."
No, one thing that Bruce failed to mention is actually today and tomorrow is this past day and this Shabbat is, what is it, Harvey? We have a very special thing. What is it? It's Rosh Chodesh. It's the new month, and it's very cool this year. You know it's the new month because it's also Ramadan starts Saturday. So for all of our Muslim community, they're getting ready to have their last meals, this is our happiest month of the year, right? It's the month of Purim. So I think it is true, and the warm weather.
Adar, marbin b'simcha.
When Adar comes in, everyone is filled with happy because finally winter is over in Buffalo. As if, right?
I remember the winter of 2017. I was the newbie here, And boy, it snowed all the way into April that year. It was just, I didn't see the sun once in that March. Everybody refers to 2017.
Now, I'm sure some of us here in this room know the winter of 77, right? I think some of you, like Rich and Ellen, they came here. Didn't you come here around that time? No. You were already here, yeah.
Actually, I got stuck in Batavia
Yeah.
For a
That-
week. Oh,
well, I had work, so
yeah.
I stayed at the senior
It
citizen
took me
high
7 hours to get from Main Street to my house.
7 hours for Rich to go from Main Street to his house right near our synagogue, actually, yeah. Well, I think we're in need of prayer. You have something that you're going to sing that's connected to prayer? Oh, hear
Yeah.
my prayer, right?
Oh, hear my prayer. It's about
It's
the
not-
lights. So if you want to call up the people who are going to be lighting the
Oh,
lights,
so
it'd
we'll
be
do the
nice if they
lighting
were up here.
first.
No, I would sing it, but it would be nice if there was somebody in the screen. Poor Todd, he has to look at an empty screen. Believe it or not, there are a lot of people here. You just can't see it on the streaming.
Maybe Deb and Rick, would you like to light our candles tonight? Is that okay?
All right, without coming up, I'll start. If you know it, sing along. I don't think it's in the book. Oh, hear my prayer, I sing to you. Be gracious to the ones I love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear my prayer to you. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen.
The prayer is on page 120, and Rick, you did a beautiful job lighting, and our matches worked. So we'll bring in our Shabbat light into our hearts, and we'll recite together. And we open our eyes and see each other as if for the first time. Look at Rick and Deb, that's wonderful. You're exhibiting the Shabbat love here. Let's turn to our Kiddush, page 123. If you want to lift up our Kiddush cup there. Sorry, one more task, and we'll sanctify the day of Shabbat together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei b'riat ha'ofen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodesh. Ve'ahava u'v'ratzon hinhilanu zikaron l'maseh Bereshit ki hu yom tefillah lemikra kodesh sefer Tzion Mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta v'yotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodesh be'ahava u'v'ratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai b'kadesh haShabbat. Amen.
L'chaim. Now, it's up to you if you want to drink from it. I don't know what Joanne has prepared for you. Okay. They're surviving.
Yum.
L'chaim.
Yum or not? Deborah?
That's
Yum or not?
Deborah, is it yum or yuck? Which one? Yum.
Yum.
That's what we do with the hamantasha. That we do with the kids. Is it a yucky filling or a yummy one? Now, Linda knows about that.
So which ones are yucky?
Oh well, the kids yeah.
Oh.
For Haman, we shout. All the kids shout out like mud and dirt and bugs. You know. Page 124. Let's read responsibly at the bottom. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, things to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May the synagogue be for all who enter, Amen. We'll welcome the angels of Shabbat before we welcome the Shabbat bride. Shalom Aleichem is on page 142, this traditional prayer that is said to welcome those angels that stay with us for Shabbat so we can finally relax a little bit.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mirelech, Malachei HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Yimelech, malachei hamalachim, hakadosh baruch hu. Say the Cham, say the Cham.
There's beautiful wordplay in this. If you haven't looked, when you're hearing it, you can hear it, but in the transliteration, it doesn't really show you. There's actually two words in Shalom Aleichem that sound similar, but they're different words, and they represent different things. And the song itself is kind of playing around with it. So if you notice in the first verse, it says, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet. And if you look in the Hebrew, Malachei, that's spelled with an aleph in the middle there. That means angel. But if you go to the third line of the first verse, you'll say Mimelech Malchei Hamlachim, and that is king. So you have almost the same word done differently. It's almost like I think it's like a tongue twister almost, because it catches you off guard. But they're playing around with the idea of God as king, and also this idea of messengers and angels that come to visit us, and just a beautiful way. And I think that's what gives it the resonance when we sing it also. It has a certain kind of rhythm to it because it's using words that sound the same in kind of a different way. Even just saying it sounds beautiful, right? It's a little tricky though. You could get tricked up on the malache and the malche.
Melech Malachim.
It reminds me of we have another one that will be coming up later, which is Mi Kamocha. And there's actually two different verses of Mi Kamocha. One that says Mi Kamocha, and the other one that says Mi Chamocha. It depends on whether you have the dot in the kuf, in the kaf, sorry. And I remember there was this gentleman, Sansino, and he was from an illustrious family. And when I first started as a rabbi, he would pay attention. He was in his 90s at that point, and he would sit in the back of the room, and it was sort of like Canterbury Woods, but all Jewish. And they had this wonderful synagogue, and he would be in the back, and he'd be watching me if I did the Mi Chamocha right. And at the end of it, he said, "No, you said it's supposed to be Mi Kamocha." So I always think about him. But I loved him. He was so wonderful. We are ready now to welcome in Shabbat itself, the Shabbat bride, who is waiting because I've been talking so long. Page 138 and 39. We are, or 138, sorry, is the 8th and 9th verse. On the 9th verse, we face the back. We bow to Shabbat bride, who enters the room. Now we have a bride. Would you like to play that role? All right, well, I'll tell you when Naomi, in honor of her birthday and her beautiful crown, she can play our bride here. We'll bow to her, and then we welcome each other with our weaving. We've never done that before. This is going to be fun.
Yalalais. Yalalai.
of Shabbat, we should greet. Let's remain standing for our call of community, page 146, as we look around at our beautiful community we have assembled here tonight.
Baruch et Adonai, Hamevorach.
Baruch
Adonai, Hamevorach, Le'olam Vaed.
Let's read together on 147 at the bottom. O God, you are as near as the very air we breathe, yet farther than the farthest most star. We yearn to reach you. We seek the light and warmth of your presence. Though we say you are near, we are lonely and alone. Oh, let our desire be so strong that it will tear the veil that keeps you from our sight. Let your light release our darkness and reveal the glory and joy of your presence. Page 150, Ahavat Olam. God's love for us, our love for God.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim mishpatim, Otanu limadetzah. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu, Yochveinu u'mekdomeinu, Nasiha b'chukecha, V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'b'mitzvotecha, le'olam va'ed. Ki Eloheinu be'orech yameinu, Yoma'ev neged yomah halayla. V'yavadecha hatasim emanu le'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Page 152, the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Omo Shem Kevod, Malchuto Le'olam Vaed.
You may be seated, page 154. Cantor will lead us in V'ahavta.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'otecha ve'ayu hadvarim ha'ele Hashem Elohim tzavacha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibartam bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha u'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shochtecha u'v'komecha u'kshartam le'od hayadecha v'hayu letotafot ben einecha וכתבתם המזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Let's turn to the bottom of 157 and we'll read together responsively. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. May earth. From bondage in Egypt, we were delivered at Sinai. We bound ourselves to your way. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. And we sing those words at the sea on page 158, the Michamocha. Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael, blessed are you, Redeemer of Israel. I invite you to rise at this moment, if you're able, starting on page 164 through page 180. Take time in the Hebrew or English, or just the prayers of your heart, and whenever you're ready, you may be seated. We're going to turn our attention to healing prayers on page 371. And if everyone here could send their prayers, we're sending our prayers to Max Sloan in the back. We're Max, who's wonderful soul, bright and energetic, and he just needs our help and support now. So if you could just think about him, he's got his whole mishpacha, his family in the back there. So just please, I think any little bit helps. And I know Max is, as I told Jessica, he's a fighter. He's going to keep fighting. I'm going to read our list of names, and then we will go around. And if you have other people that you'd like to say prayers for, we will have an opportunity for you to raise your hand and just say the names out loud. As a community, we are thinking about Gail Ackerholt, Neil Agnita, Paula Ames, Hope Bongiorno, Sandy Canty, David Cohen, Evan Dennis, Chris Donner, Marwin Feldman. I just heard from Judy that Marwin's doing a little better too. Stephen Glick, Carolyn and Ernie Grosser, Russ Grosser, Suzanne Lefcourt Harris, Pam Haber, Kenny Jackson, Alex Katz, Ken Kellick, Granger Hugh Kelly, Marilyn Kerman, Tony Rinsberg and baby Maddie, Larry Kerman, Renee Klein, Remy Levine, Miles Levy, Gail Lewis, Joe Morris, Ken C. Mai, Pamela Nigat, Jeff Pratt, Angela Robillard, Shaw Rossi, Cindy Rotella, Sarah Korn Rothschild, Brandon Ryan, Remy Schoenwetter, Carol Silverman, Max Slonim, Lorenzo Stewart, Andrew Sutherland, Enjo Tufts, Jen Ursaner, Renata and Wolfgang Toll, Marla Vagarosi, Mary Weiss, Mike Wheeler, Fred Weiner, Celeste Zacharis, Lauren Zaffel, Gail Zaretsky, Carla Batchana, Yosef Ben Zissel, Han Ezra Ben Shul, and Shmuel Ben Bulig. If there's other names, just raise your hand.
Sheldon Cohen and Eugene Madrid.
Dan Abel's nephew.
Very close.
Sheila Chato.
Margaret Speed is in Dunbarton.
Robert Benjamin.
Anthony Gigiano.
Zena Turner Cohen.
Alana Davis and David Schwab. Bill Russell.
Jill Klinger and Anita Klinger.
Bring all those names into our hearts, including also names that aren't mentioned here today, maybe people in this room, and we'll send our attention to them as we sing the Misha Berach, page 371.
May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
A complete healing, a healing of body and spirit. May our prayers go out to where they're needed, inside and outside of this room, and we say Amen. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
So this is one of my favorite, not only is it Adar, the beginning of like this crazy, wonderful month where it's full of joy. This is one of my favorite Torah portions. This is the Torah portion where everyone gets along. Can you imagine that? We're in Truma in the book of Exodus. Yeah, you've never heard of this, right? So here at this moment, remember, they've just crossed through the sea. They've received water and food and sustenance, and they have received the 10 commandments and laws, and now we're ready for something more. We're ready to build the tabernacle, the Mishkan. That traveling synagogue is really the centerpiece. Actually, there are weeks and weeks and weeks we spend on every little detail of the tabernacle, which was only a temporary synagogue before the temple could be built. And here at this moment in Truma, Moses and Aaron, they announced to the world, we need everyone's help. The first verse of the portion says, tell the Israelite people to bring me gifts. You shall accept gifts for me for every person whose heart is so moved. The word in Hebrew, which is wonderful, yidvenu libo, who with a generosity of heart. Everyone who has a generosity of heart should come forward and help build this structure that we are going to do together. This is not a military operation. This is not about, trying to get a tzedakah from you or trying to raise money for a synagogue. This is actually all of us with our own hands building something that we can all enjoy together. And it's a beautiful moment. It says that the people, they brought the acacia wood and the dolphin skins and the lapis lazuli and the gold and the silver and everything that was important to them. And for this moment of this week's Torah portion, it is only this happy buzz. You've probably felt that in hard times. I felt it after 9/11. There was kind of that sense of cohesion in society. I felt it in happy occasions when we walked our Torahs over here as a community, that sense of building something together. And it's truly spectacular. Or maybe you felt it also at a rock concert, or you felt it at a Bills game. I think we do feel it with the Buffalo Bills here in Western New York. There's that sense of unity when you say, oh, you made a face there, I don't know, you don't agree maybe.
Did you say dolphin skins?
Yes, it's dolphin skins. This doesn't have to do with the Miami Dolphins. I don't think it actually means dolphin skins the way we had, but it's kind of a little bit gross, you're right. Sometimes the translation get left off, so when we think, oh my God, they went into the Red Sea and strung up those dolphins. Probably not what they were talking about, but who knows, they had different tastes than we. It was not our preference. So anyways, that moment, like with the Bills this season, there's just that you could go around and say, go Bills, and everyone felt kind of connected. And it's truly spectacular, but it's also very ephemeral. It only lasts a certain amount of time. And we see this in the Torah, because guess how long this sense of unity lasts? What do you think? How many Torah portions before we get a fight? One more week. And then we have the golden calf, which is the worst incident. So we go, it swings from this amazing moment to suddenly everyone wants to kill each other in the community. I think human beings crave that sense that we are all together, but so rarely do we achieve it. This week I was listening to a podcast from Jerusalem. The person, Yehuda Kurtzer, who's the head of the Hartman Institute. I had a chance to meet him a number of years back, and he's just an amazing thinker and speaker. And in the beginning of his podcast, he was talking about kind of where the Jewish community is now, and how kind of what it means to be like a Jewish professional. And he talked about the difference between solidarity and unity. he said solidarity was kind of like after October 7th. There was a sense that we were supporting each other, that we had something we were supporting each other for. But then he said, this idea of unity, which has been promoted a lot in recent days, unity, he said, is more like a photo op. It's hollow. Two words which kind of mean the same thing, but in Yehuda's understanding of it, they're very different. And I think that is actually the danger of bringing us together. Is this really togetherness, or is it something different? In Hebrew, there's the way you say solidarity is achdut. Achdut, we know what that word is. Achad, Shema, Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Oneness, right? That's the sense. And that oneness is what we want to be together. I kind of invented a new word, forgive me, Orna. Yachdut, which I think I always hear. Yachad, being together, is different than being one. There is something that when we're together, and we're truly together, and I think it's because we're serving something. That's what you see in the Torah portion. We are trying to complete something together. We are facing something together. There is that sense of oneness. In that sense, we don't all have to be alike. And I think that's a key thing. When we're standing together like this yachdut in a photo op, suddenly everyone who is different is forced to feel like they're alike. But when you are facing something outside of yourself to achieve or to conquer or whatever it is, that sense of oneness is with purpose. And it doesn't require every single person to be the same. I was looking back in different articles to see whether I could get a sense of how to think about this. And I found one from the Jerusalem Post by Daniel Goldman, and this goes back to 2014. If you remember, 2014 was a pretty contentious year in Israel as well. This is what he wrote about this sense of unity. When we call for Jewish unity, what do we mean? Solidarity among the Jewish people would imply that we have empathy for other Jews, especially when they are struggling or in trouble. Tel Aviv may show solidarity for Sderot, and the entire Jewish world, Sderot, of course, down near Gaza. And the entire Jewish world comes out in support when the French synagogue is attacked by an anti-Semitic protesters. Solidarity is only expressed as a response to negative events. I believe the Jewish people has great reserves of solidarity, but we must not accept it as enough. We need more. And I love this. He says, harmony has a different context. Harmony is created by different voices or instruments playing together. This is something Cantor can understand even more than me. 10 violins playing the exact same line is not harmony. A soloist on his own cannot create harmony. It can only be achieved by the combination of different sounds. Harmony is not an emotion or a feeling, but something built through hard work, creativity, and a heightened ability to work together. In order to achieve harmony, we cannot expect the cello to sound like an oboe, the tenor to sing the bass part. Instead, we need the humility to make space for the different voices. We need to think deeply about each of their contributions, and we have to decide that creating harmony is important enough to invest the time and effort. One might say, why bother? Isn't unity enough? Isn't that enough to have? And I urge community, political leaders, lay leaders in Israel and overseas to make creating this chorus of blended voices a priority. Not because it's a luxury, but because our future is as a strong and healthy people depends on it. I love how he switches it to that sense of harmony. We all, even if you're off tune like me, when you sing, you can find that harmony. There's something that, you put yourself out there and it combines. This morning I had I told you I met my friend Eric K. Ward, who's from Portland, who's part of this Race Forward, and we brought him here through our Jewish Federation to talk about Black-Jewish relations. And he spoke very powerfully, and one of it was about this sense of unity, and it's been a theme this week, really. And he spoke about a different word. He used the word coalition. what does it mean to be part of a coalition, particularly when you're talking about Black Jewish coalition? He said something interesting. He said, well, there's a kind of this fantasy that we've always had a strong coalition, Black Jewish coalition, for forever. Remember, Abraham Joshua Heschel and Martin Luther King marching together, or the NAACP's formation here in Buffalo. In actuality, it was very few people gathered together at very few times. But he said a coalition is something that has a pledge to be together even in the darkest times. When you form a coalition with someone else, with another group, then you are pledging to be there even when you hate each other, even when everything breaks down, even when you have no idea how to make sense, but you made a coalition together. He also said about an alliance, another word that this is from the work he does. Alliance is never about perfection. You can never have a perfect alliance. It is about choosing one another over and over again. I am choosing to be allied with you despite the fact that we don't fit together. In the Torah portion and in thinking about this life, because I think these are the questions we're asking right now of ourselves as a society and world, in the Jewish world, everywhere. Everyone's asking this question, probably because that's the age we're in. This idea of the world, the entire world, like the World Wide Web, it grew out. That didn't exist always. Certainly didn't exist when I grew up. Sorry to the kids here. That's kind of a new invention. And suddenly, if we have a worldwide, are we all united? And then we're constantly asking this question: how do we fit this together? How do we sit together with people in disagreement? How do we create societies of diversity? And it's very hard. There is no easy answers. I appreciated Eric Ward's insight, as well as Yehuda Kurtzer, and our Torah portion. Our Torah portion, I think, just keeps it really simple. Find a project you can do together. And Eric said the same thing. Someone asked him today, what should the blacks and Jews do to help? What are things that are being done? He said, don't worry about dialogue. Just do. Build something together. And that's the lesson of Truma. Build something together. Bring whatever it is you have from your own space, your own community, your own identity, contribute it, and do something together. What a wonderful message. It's easy. When you boil it down that way, I think we can all find projects we can work on together. We just go out and do something practical and forget all this dialoguing. Let's first do that. Don't tell my Eric Farley, my resetting the table partner. Anyways, may we continue to struggle with this. We can see from the Torah, it's not easy. The golden calf's only a week away. We'll keep trying this out and eventually maybe find the harmony, as the Jerusalem Post writer says. May it be so. Cantor has a song, I think.
Oh, no.
Did you want to do it later?
Yeah, we're going to do
Oh,
it.
do it
We're going
later,
to do it
okay.
at the end. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
But
All
I
right.
will say, Rabbi, I think
Sure.
Purim is a coalition,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, especially to get our Purim players in
I
line.
think all of our, who is involved in the Purim show here? Raise your hand. We can all agree it's a coalition.
Yeah, everyone brings their own perspective. Okay, well then we are ready to, actually, before we go to Eleno, I did prepare a poem, so I'll read that. So this poem is called Open in Troubled Times, and it's kind of about this struggle to find coalition with each other. I did it in a rhyme. I've been clasped in an embrace of heat and fire, felt waves and waves of 1,000 wires, known the crackle of lightning before it strikes, that sweep of human hate and spite. I am not immune to that demon spire, twisting out and over weathered tires. No, I know what you see in that feckless night, how glorious it feels to be held so tight, watching idly while it consumes us all, crumpling all what we love in discarded balls. You'll thank me later for helping you out, for offering framework, for restoring doubt. Because in that furnace of dying flames is hurt and hate without end or aim, a cauldron full of gas and pus. Let go, before it becomes us. With that in mind, we rise, and I need my Shabbat queen, extraordinary birthday human being, Naomi. I invite you to rise, page 586 for Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח ולהודות הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך ומלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 591.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ היום.
You may be seated on that day. We will all be one. We're going to turn to our Mourner's Kaddish, page 598. This week we lost our oldest member, Wilma Iggers. She was going to turn 104 this month. A Holocaust survivor with an incredible life's journey. Her sons were telling us how many countries and places she lived in her life, which is quite incredible. And she was very dedicated to her family's history and to the Jewish community as well. It's a huge, huge loss. The funeral is Tuesday at noon at Mesnikov. We have Maggie there. That's the right time, I think. Okay. We also are remembering Lorraine Medwin and Karen Nyman, who died in the last month. On our yard site list from years past, we remember Donald Adler, Reba Arbit, Max Bell, Ruth Berger Cohen, Samuel Berman, Fanny Brown, Harriet Cohen, Alan Cowan, Alan Crandall, Jimmy Durlack, Evelyn S. Eber, Simon Eisendorfer, Harry S. Eisner, Harold Fink, Isidore Fox, Blanche Greenman, Deborah Gumans, David Hoffman, Molly Jacoby, Gloria Klein, Judy Klipstein, Rose Kramer, Charlotte Krebs, Charlotte Solon Lefcourt, Evelyn B. Liss, Julius Mandel, Frida Schwartz-Mango, Nathan Mesnikoff, Louis Michnik, Jack Miller, Evelyn New, Lillian Zager Notarius, Benjamin Nosnitsky, Wilbert Nusanov, Betty Pellis, Beatrice Rothstein, David Rubin, Adolf Schwartz, Edward Seitz, Evelyn Shine, Anna Sugarman, Andrew Valenta, Gloria Weinstein, and Saul Weinstein. If there's other names, just raise your hand. All those whose custom it is to rise, please rise at page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'yalma divrach hirtei v'yamlik malchutei, v'chayechon v'yamachon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agalau v'yizman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah varach le'olam olmei almayah. Yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei d'kudashah b'rechu. Leilami kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechamata, damiran b'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlam rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom v'imru hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yeshvei tevel v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all the world. And we say, Amen.
Amen.
They may be seated. Zikronam livracha. May their memory be for a blessing. And we have Bruce Chorus to offer the announcements. And Joanne, just be prepared. We're ready for our drawing soon.
She'll come up. She knows her cue. Shabbat shalom again, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Thank you to our service greeters, Linda Bergman and Kirsty Henry. We appreciate your help. Thank you, of course, to Rabbi Alex and Cantor Frank. Welcome back, Cantor,
Thank you.
for a meaningful service this evening in honor of Shabbat. Busy weekend coming up. Tomorrow morning, we have Torah study at 9. That is at Temple Beth Tzedek. It's also via their Zoom. The Shabbat morning service and Kiddush luncheon is at 10:45. That is also at Temple Beth Tzedek. Community Religious School. What?
No, it's at Canterbury.
It's a. Well, I'm wrong already. Look at that. Anything else we need to correct? Okay. So there are Canterbury Woods tomorrow morning for the Shabbat morning service. Community Religious School Sunday morning at 9. That is here. That is here. That part's right. Okay. That's at 9. We have next Friday night, first Friday of March, Jews of all hues. This month it will be Jews of Sweden. Dan and Gunilla Kester will be speaking. Gunilla, of course, is from Sweden. Dan is not, but he's been there so many times they've made him an honorary citizen and an honorary member of ABBA as well. Okay, here's the Julia segment. See Julia Cohan if you would like to help make the reusable tote bags used for the Thanksgiving Baskets project. They're going to be starting that in April. Also, see Julia if you would like to be part of the stage crew for the Perm Spiel. We need some people to help with scene changes. Just so you guys know, when Julia gets backed up on stuff like this, she gets a little stressed and she takes it out on me. So I'm asking you to please help Julia.
That's what I was saying. Purim is a coalition.
Yes, exactly. Speaking of helping others, Tikkun Olam, our Tikkun Olam team, has started the March Ronald McDonald collection. They're requesting paper towels, napkins, 30-gallon black trash bags, 16-ounce bottles of water, personal items like travel-sized products, and individually sized snacks. See the Tikkun Olam email or talk to Robin Raphael about that for more details. As last week, we heard in detail about the voting for the World Zionist Congress. It is starting March 10th. Remember, our beliefs and our principles for the state of Israel are at stake. Please watch out for your email coming up with the QR code to vote. Karen and Howard Wiseman are heading our effort here at our temple. They're not here this evening, but they'll be back next week, so please ask them any questions that you have. And there are flyers outside the sanctuary. Remember, the Reform movement, the Reconstructionist movement are what really matter to us, because the Orthodox have just exploded in population and have way, way, way more votes. Rabbi Alex will be resuming Resetting the Table on Sunday, March 23rd. That is at 1 o'clock p.m. at Spot Coffee on Transit Road in Williamsville. He and Pastor Eric Farley from the Fieldstone Church will be having a really interesting discussion, and all are welcome. Good news, the men's group meeting that had to be canceled because of the weather will now be Sunday, March 16th at 9:15 a.m. Our speakers are Craig Small, who saved someone's life with CPR at the Rolling Stones concert last year. Could have been me, actually. And Dave Cohen, who was saved by CPR when he fell and hit his head at the Philharmonic last year. Also, Dr. Iris Danzinger, who teaches CPR, will be here for that. That is Sunday, March 16th at 9:15. Perm Spiel, March 13th. Wicked, Defying Gravity. Pizza dinner beginning at 6. Be sure to RSVP to Joanne about that. That will also be the night of the grand prize drawings for the Chai Club, $180, $360, and $540. So please join us for that. We want to wish Naomi a very happy 60th birthday. I said it, sorry. Okay, you don't look a day over 32. How's that? Anyway, we'll sing happy birthday in a moment right after we do the drawing, and join us in the social hall immediately afterward for our oneg, and we'll wish you happy birthday in there as well. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Wow.
What?
Look at that. When Robin watches
She's
you,
timing me.
Oh, thank you.
she
And-
kept you really, that was like, wasn't that?
Oh, how'd he do tonight?
He did it.
4.5.
Oh my gosh. And he got some jokes in there too. All right, here we go for 18.
Lisa Bojarski from Cheektowaga. That was from Michael Rosenberg, from the dentist. My dentist.
My dentist too, there you go. And for 36.
Ethan Abels,
Oh, nice.
coming from Mark Abels. Mix it up so much. There we go. And then we've got 54, Lynn Slepian.
Nice. Lynn's won before.
Thank
That's
you,
a nice
everyone.
one. Okay,
Yeah, she's
wonderful.
won before.
All right, we are going to turn to 161. I think this is an important melody which is connected to what I was talking about. Let There Be Love, 161.
So you can just keep singing the English English with me, and then continue on. Linda and Adrian will be leading the crowd in doing the English over and over again. I'll do some Hebrew on top of it and meet you again with the English. Let there be love. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Everyone try it with us. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, Shalom. Everyone together. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm. It's funny, this ukulele always whistles during this one song. Did you ever hear that whistling? Yeah? But Keena used to like it. Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
As you came in peace, please leave in peace leave your prayer books minus the leaflet in the front and the Jewish outline together. Shabbat shalom.
Shamru, Shamru,